screen para makita na ko ang original submission last Friday and then unsay difference to today. So sa kani siya, naman ko yung general comments ato last time. Where did I put it? Excuse me. So to make sure the design of entrance arch and buildings are similar. Let's see, try to find a kanang common design style for the whole building and also the entrance arch. Try to move all drop-off points inside the lot, having them directly in front of the RROW will kanang slow down traffic. Climate awareness, so avoid full glass facade. So we'll go to the bit more detail into that just in a bit. So you see, for example, here Ayala, you see the facade is like floor to ceiling windows, but it's like broken up. You have like extended kind of more walkways to shade each floor, and I think this is a very kind of nice tropical response or climate response and design where each floor is properly shaded and you don't have like a lot of direct sunlight going into the building. We have other buildings that look like Canis, for example, in the background. Kaning, I think this is a for insular life or something. Kaning full glass na window. You notice na dili siya kanang clear. It's kanang tinted. So unless you have windows na tinted, and these are also not regular kanang glass windows. I think it's double glazing or something like that. You can't do like full glass. Kay init yun siya, musudang init. So you need to have like special kanang what they call glazing or glass treatment to do this kind of what they call this exterior. So unless you do something like that, I would suggest more kanang longer eaves. So para more climate responsive, it will become very init jud. So you'll also increase your kanang electrical load. Kaya you'll need more air conditioning. Finally, kaning presentation, this is just the arrangement of like drawing. So first page should be site dev and exterior perspective, or just one big page exterior perspective and then site dev, and then the floor plans. One is funny because this site is a bit big, so one floor plan per page for makita gyud tibok. Elevation, 2 elevations per page maximum. So don't try to put more kay mugamay ang drawing. Sections the same, 2 sections per page. Mechanical utility diagram. So we'll discuss this more maybe siguro on Friday. But I'll show you some samples. But it's basically the same scale as the floor plans, and mag-drawing natin mga lines to show where the utilities are. And let's see, include your name on each page at the bottom. So that's not bottom left, supposed to be bottom right. Sorry. I did post. So name should be on the bottom right. Bottom right. Any way to make this bold? There you go, bottom right. This is just so like I can figure out who's submitting what, and I know who this page belongs to. Colors, so avoid kanang super dark or super light na colors. So try to find a balance. Line weight, so this link to a YouTube video will show you basically kanang 3 levels of line weight in drawing. So for example, let's see, natural or flat. Example, this one, that's not very good. This one. Maybe some of these are mostly not good. Let's see. Tatagan. This is better. So notice ang walls is kanang thicker. You see the solid black. So that should be the thickest line in your floor plans. And then followed by...
Excuse me, sir. Sorry. Are you trying to show us something, sir? Kaya wala
yeah.
share.
Wag you siya share goods. Well. Going back again, so moto ang final design submissions na tips. It's over here sa Facebook. It's also in the announcement page. Let's see. Dashboard, AR3100. Announcements. I did not put what it. Here. I'll edit the name. Hmm, Final design requirements. So that's October 23. Not 23, October 14. Yeah, October 14. That's about 2 weeks from now. Sige, asa to? Save. So, so can you just go over this? I discussed it a bit, and then make sure to include your names bottom right side. Right side of each page. And so I can keep track of which page I'm checking or whose drawings I'm checking. Okay, so I also mentioned earlier about canning glass facade. So let me just show you quickly. So if we're gonna do full glass like this, canning insular life building or something, you have to make sure that it's tinted glass. You can't have it plain regular glass. It will become very hot. Also notice aning insular life building has higher or like above average floor to ceiling height. Apparently that's to increase natural ventilation on the inside. Not really natural ventilation, but like artificial ventilation on the inside. So more room for hot air to move up. It's easier to cool the space inside. And then the glass here is, let me just show you what double glazing is. Open image, a new tab. Why is it so small? Okay, so double glazing is just as it says, it's 2 layers of glass with an air pocket in between. And this basically regulates the temperature. So it lets light in, but not heat. This is more expensive than regular glass because you're basically applying 2 layers of materials. But still, you need air conditioning for these types of rooms. So it's going to be more expensive to have full glass na facade that's comfortable in the Philippines. So notice over here, it's not clear jud, it's tinted, and that's 2 layers of glass. So you need to pay for the tint, you need to pay for the extra layer of glass, and then you also need to use more or less same amount of air conditioning as you would do over here. So this is just single sheet glass and extended sort of basically 1.2 ang minimum. We can even go further like 1.5. I think this is about almost like 1.8 actually in Ayala. You need to do this so that your interior spaces don't get direct sunlight, more indirect sort of like ambient light, so it's not so hot. So I would suggest more kanang longer eaves for your kanang malls. A lot of the malls are very boxy, maybe because they're not done yet. So just making sure na you are aware of that. Now you need roof eaves if you just want regular glass. If you want full glass, you need double glazing, and then you need to explain why you would go for a more costly what do you call this, design material. Okay, now back to the dang it, I'm out of water already. Back to the floor plan. The thickest line should be your walls, followed by, let's see, maybe some kanang partition walls. So if you have black solid lines, that could usually mean like concrete walls. Here in this particular drawing, they look like sliding doors. This is probably the frame of the sliding window or sliding door. And then you see the inside of the wall is kanang 2 layers of kanang, I think, some kind of hardiflex or timber material or some kind of composite material in between our insulation. So this is more kanang a Western setting the house. So you might want to show CHB walls. I would suggest you just use kanang solid black for the walls. And then your fixture should be sort of the second thickest line. So you have 3 levels of thickness. So walls most thick, fixtures and furniture second thickness, and then patterns like floor finishes, your trees or whatever should be the lightest. So you get that sort of depth in your drawing. So instead of everything looking very flat, if they have the same line width, it will look a lot better and easier to read. That's the most important thing. It makes your floor plans easier to read. Like if I zoom out here, you can clearly see where the walls are. You can clearly see where the furnitures are. And then I would just make the line weight for the trees here a bit lighter or like a bit thinner so they don't compete with the furniture inside. But anyway, that's it for presentation on the floor plans. Okay, sorry. With that, medyo nahurot ang time ni Masbad, but I'll go through Masbad's work now. So over here, is this the right one, Masbad? Okay. So yeah, this is a thing with presentation. The road is a bit too dark and the building is also black. So I can't, it's hard for me to tell where the building is. Like at a glance, I have to zoom in. And there, it's loading. So this is the problem with submitting heavy files because na ma-delayed na yung checking. So I have to like download it, which causes like even more sort of delay. So it's not efficient bitaw. Let's see, desktop, urgent checking, AR3100. And it's very easy to reduce the file size of your drawings because there's an online website for it. And again, I want to keep reminding you guys there's a PDF compressor. You just Google PDF compressor. It's the first thing that comes up. You select your PDF file. For example, let's see, GDP income is 23,000 kilobytes. I just click compress, and it doesn't even take that long. I really want to demo this. Kay, if I see any file that's more than 10 MB, I will deduct points na jud. Kay, sayang kayo ang time. And it only takes you what, like less than 2 minutes to get it. And then you download the compressed PDF, save, and you see the file difference. It's now 1,000 kilobytes, 1,000 KB or 0.01 MB or something like that, compared to the 23 kilobytes. So it loads faster. I can open it, I can check it, etc., etc. Diretso na. Kaysa mag-download pa ko sa inyong work, I have to go through it and then lag paghihapon and nag-check na ko. I'm already starting to get annoyed with it. Anyway, okay, let's see. The text is also not good. Proposed supermarket here. Okay, and then the warehouse is back here. The concession space is over there, and then the customers parking is over here. Okay, so far the layout's good. One big advantage of layout ngayon is a concession space is connected to the supermarket. Those who have their concession spaces separated from the supermarket is not really good unless you put like a bridge or you put like a very good reason why your concession space is separated from your supermarket. You will get kanang lower points for that because the idea is if your supermarket is connected to the concession space, they can do their groceries and then do their like have dinner or lunch or whatever. Better access to concession space means more people will go there, more people will buy. So if you separate your concession space, especially with your driveway, becomes less accessible and kanang immediately already less attractive for people who want to go either what do you call this? It basically makes the foot traffic and the mall become, I'll only come here for the concession space and I won't go supermarket. Whereas if you combine them, they might go supermarket and concession space. So it's very kind of basic kind of psychology or marketing. I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. If you connect them, much better access, so more foot traffic. So that's what we want. So already that's good. Let me check the interior. Oh my God, it's so laggy. Okay, sige. So we got the concession space. So for anyone wondering, the concession space says you don't need to put in all of the sort of different types. You just need to add the space. And I think over here, we have a problem with the line weights. So this line weight here is already so light, I can't see the pattern. Like you can see it on the screen, lisod siya basahon. You can barely see this line over here. Let's look at the floor plan. And you see some columnation over here, a bit irregular. So let me highlight. So this column here, I don't know what's doing there. Also, why they're missing columns here and here? If you're going to do that kind of pattern, it's either you make your columns like appear here on the yellow side, or you remove these columns here and here. Kana bitaw, so consistent columnation. This is for kanang better earthquake resistance. So if your columnation is irregular, it will become more susceptible to kanang earthquake. So avoid irregular column spacing. Over here, we see another kanang missing column na put. Maybe this could be a Revit thing. Okay, there's columns here and here. So let me click. It's not letting me click. Oh, there we go. Loading. So this is the problem again with large files. It just slows down everything. Let me see. Okay, let me check the inside. So this is general notes for everyone. Na timing lang na Masbad's work is the first work. So food stalls, bakery, checkout counters, grocery selling area. My first question here is why are I can't change the size of my one. Let's say use my snip. Christine, are you there? Masbad? Is this Masbad? Hello? Christine and Masbad. Hello? Hello? Am I muted? Where's Christine? Okay, she's not here. Maybe not disconnected or something. I don't know. Anyway, sige lang, I'm recording it, so I'll just send it to her after. So the issue here is, I was gonna ask why the shelves are so deep. It's almost as deep as the sidewalk, or not the sidewalk, the path. So this is basically 1 meter deep, which is not the usual. Maybe there's a reason for this, but if you look at grocery or supermarket, and we had like a report on this supermarket shelving. If you have it 1 meter deep, it becomes very hard to reach at the back, and also very hard to display all your goods. So usually, I think we had a report on this, like it's a very first meeting or first few meetings. Supermarket stalls are kind of maybe like 0.6, 0.4 even. 0.6 I think is good. If you see this person here, you should be able to reach the back without any problem. So this design here of the shelving is a bit questionable. So I was hoping the designer would like explain. Next, we have frozen food, dairy display, freezers, juice, dairy, blah, blah, freezers, meat storage freezer. Okay, this looks good. The warehouse looks good. Cold storage, air handling unit, electrical room, security office, manager's office, lounge, canteen, kitchen. Okay. I think this looks good. My only question is why is the lounge so far away from I guess that's the delivery dock. I think you need an entrance over here, employee entrance over here, so that they don't sort of crowd the delivery dock area. So this is a bit basic for I don't think if your teachers told you now you need more than one entrance, especially when you have a area that's like about 1,000 square meters na. Okay, for example, there's a fire maybe somewhere here or somewhere here. The people in this area, the employees toilet area, or like to the left of the page, they'll get trapped because they don't have any exits. So the purpose of having multiple exits is to provide kanang safety for the people working in this area. So I would probably require, like if you have a long hallway like this, you probably need a door somewhere here and maybe another door somewhere here, so that if there's a fire here in the X, they can get out through here and they can get out through here. If there's a fire here in the kitchen, people can go out this way, the delivery dock. And that's really the point of having multiple exits. You can't just have like one door unless it's a very small building like a house. Okay, let's look at the supermarket area again. So we just have, let's see here. I'll use my snip because it doesn't lag. So main entrance here, entrance here. You might need an exit over here and emergency exit over here. So at least kanang 3 exits. So I think that's all I need to correct over here. Maybe this column spacing. You might need columns over here. This is, I can't read. How much is this? It's unreadable na jud. Can't tell. Is that 20 or 10? Looks like based on the scale, so it's like 1 meter. Maybe that's 10. Yeah. Oops. So maybe this looks like from here to here is 10 meters. So I think you'll definitely need columns if they're that small. Alternatively, you could double the size of your columns. Like, sorry, I'm drawing with a mouse. You could probably double the size of your columns to accommodate that span. Where's it? Where's it? There. Maybe double the size to like something like that. To accommodate that span. So dako ang columns 3. I think even more. So it's either this student keeps the small columns but decrease the column spacing. 10 meters is very far, especially for columns that are like this size lang. Anyway, that's it for the floor plan, I think. Let me check. Yeah, the problem with the line weights needs to be addressed. And then let's look at the second floor. Okay. What's this? Outdoor dining. But where does the food come from? This is more like, I guess it's a good start. Let's see. Roof above warehouse and then roof above supermarket. Okay. So yes, I guess develop lang ni siya here. Unfortunately, the student who worked on this got disconnected. So wala tayo mabuhat.
Ay, sure na. Naku, sorry.
Okay, so you should have said something when you came back. Okay. What time is it? 8:53. Let me see. I guess I'll just check your elevations. The elevations look good. So this looks good. Ang line weights are good, are a bit too light. Di siya ma-check tarong. Let me see here. One thing. Let's see. Did you hear that comment about your Kohan shelving?
Wala, sir.
Sige, okay. I'll just like continue on with the front elevation. So move your scale bar over there. That would make it a bit better. Okay. So you can increase bitaw the size of your drawing. Increase. I know they told you na most teachers would say na keep all the scales consistent from floor plan to elevation. But I've noticed that it gets harder and harder to check, especially in the building is very large, or the floor, what do you call this? The building is very kind of wide and not tall, so it gets hard to check. So for this specific project, okay lagi ko na lahi ang scale sa elevation sa floor plan. I can't see anymore. So you see, let me see here. So this is the page. Let me zoom out a bit. So basically you have all of this space here sa final niya that you're not using. So I really want you to, for everyone, not just Christine, everyone, I really want you to make use of the page. You have all that page real estate. Please increase your drawing size so I can see your drawing. So that will be your drawing there. The label will be here. Scale bar will be here. Scale bar, label. Okay. So far, so good. No problems with the elevations. Ah, okay. This is a really good perspective. Let me just go through the sections real quick. So the sections, cross section, and this is longitudinal section. 11, 8. Okay. So this is not a very good section because you're only showing this part here. So as much as possible, if you do a cross section, include them with your supermarket. So you can see the supermarket floor level and how the roof slab is like, what do you call this? How is the roof slab in relation to the floor slab of the second floor? How is the level? This will be important later on when you're doing more detailed work. Okay. You need to see how everything is connected. This could be an important structural feature, and you can't see it because your section only goes like halfway of the building. Like section is only here, where much better if you section the whole thing. Okay. Initia looks good. So again, the line weights are a bit too thin, and yeah, you would really want to apply some line weights. Did I link a video? I think I did. I did somewhere. Let me see. Let me close that, close that. Where is the Revit line weight? Revit line weight video. Revit. Which I had Revit. There are several videos on this. You would see something, Kenny, here. Let me just move it. So you see something like this in Revit. That's not the right. You have line patterns. Here, line styles. So you have line weight projection, and you just change that value. So you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 11. So increase the value of where the section cuts, or like I think there's let me show you over here. For example, these lines here. Now maputo sa imong section cut, increase the line weight. So if this is line weight 1, maybe increase it to like maybe 5 or 10, depending on how your Revit is set up. And then here, put say one columns, not columns, your beams. Increase the line weight, so you can see very clearly where is your roof slab, your beams, your columns, etc. Okay. So also, so finally, you need to put labels here. So what is this here? Christine, what is this here?
Sa concession area na ara dapat.
Okay, so final, you just put the label concession area. Something like that, concession area. Okay, and then down here is a supermarket, I think, or is this the warehouse?
Warehouse dapat.
Okay. Sige. Warehouse. And I think Revit won't, depending on how Revit is sort of cut, it won't show you the footing, no? Yeah. Try to find a cut that allows you to show some of the footing. Okay, sayang, you already modeled it and you're not showing it. Kani okay ra, because that's beyond the section cut. And yeah, increase the line here. Line weight here. And then the line weight right here. Okay. Kani siya, I think, wala ni siya na humano. There's supposed to be more floor here, or mo na gyud na siya?
Maoro na siya.
More na siya. Okay. Which part? I'll go back to the floor plan. So that's a bit strange. Is that this escalator here? Mo ba ni siya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the section is Maybe I'll just ask you to show me the 3D because I don't understand what's going on there. Let me see. Okay. A bit behind schedule, pero that's what happens when we get near the end. We'll go back to that escalator thing later on. Let me see here. Oh yeah. So notice imuhang you have this kind of pattern for your building here. Maybe it would be good to extend the pattern over here. And then similar lang ang shapes imuhang entrance arch. Maybe white wood. Para uniform tanan bitaw. So it doesn't look like a mishmash of kanang different styles. Try to make your design more uniform. Okay. If you go to like any, I guess, popular building, even the one that you recommended, let me see here. Grades.
Ay ako idea to sir kay like naapay murag wood na similar sa ako ang entrance arch in between atong white na kuan mga lines sa building. Pero wa pa nako na model.
Okay. Sige, basta mo lang to ang kuha na, masbad. Mo lang ito ang tip. Try to make them look at least, at least similar looking. Okay, if you look at your favorite building here, kaning Singapore building, how do I say this? I need a 3D. Like, you can see the patterns, the repeating patterns over here. It's full glass, and then the sort of the green balconies over here. And at the bottom, you see sort of that. So wala siya murag kanang basically third bitaw na elements, either glass or grass. Kanang green and glass. So over here sa kanina imong perspective, you have sort of three colors going on, or three elements. You have the entrance arch that's brown, the building here that's white, this building is black, and then you also have this thing na lahi podog style. So try to minimize, to like kanang simplify bitaw so that everything looks unique. And not everything looks unique, but everything is sort of coordinated. Now, for example, if you really like this kaning white na column, or like that column beam structure that looks like that, maybe also apply it here. And I think it's more of a rendering thing, that maybe you just need to make everything white or everything brown, depending sa imong needs. And also, I noticed the pattern here is kaning onani. Maybe you can also follow the kanang pattern of your beams, put kani your columns beams. So more angular. So they look the same. They look like they're part of the same design bitaw. Okay, here it looks like another design. So more angle, no curves in your park. Okay, imong building has no curves na put. Or if you want to have curves, make sure curves are present everywhere. Okay. This one is a bit confusing. So why are you providing this? Here.
For roofing ng sir sa parkingan ng
Yeah. Okay. If you really want to provide roofing for the, what do you call this, parking spaces, try to make it look the same to your building put. So maybe you can apply that 7 here. Or it looks like a 7 to me, kanisha na shape. So everything should be coordinated bitaw. So okay na po, okay, this is just the beginning. For towards the final, I would really suggest you apply sort of this kanang uniform design or kanang coordinated design. This won't make you fail by any means, but this will like determine whether you get like the perfect score and the passing. Basically, kani passing more than enough the passing. Basically, this will determine the difference between a 80% and a 90%. But if you're happy with 80%, you don't need to change anything. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Yeah, sayang kayo. This is like a big design feature. And it's only applied in the concession area. And then when you get to the supermarkets, a different thing na put. So I really wouldn't recommend that. Okay, yeah. It's either you make everything look like the supermarket or everything look like the concession area, for like a more harmonious design. So you see Park Royal Hotel, everything is harmonious without, there's no sort of looking na nothing looks out of place. Everything looks like design, uniform, harmonious, blah blah blah. All those adjectives. Okay, and then going back to my question about your shelves. So why are the shelves so deep over here?
Again, so like, bana-bana pasad na nga ko.
Ah,
Back to
okay,
back
okay.
ta na. Back to
Sige,
back
sige.
sad. Mm.
Okay, so placeholder ede. I thought nakulba lang ko and binaw final na siya. So sa final it would be more like this.
Okay, sir.
So you can have more shelving. I think there are also some guides na how much shelving you can do. At the end of the day, murag, for me, when I do my groceries, if there's so many shelvings na it looks like a maze and I get lost. Okay, that's pretty much it. Then can you show me your progress?
Wala pa ko ka-edit sa ako ang Revit, sir, pero naa ko yung mga ideas lang, nag-take down ako notes. Sa akong
Sige.
original na submission kay nakalimot ko butang og sidewalk na nag-separate sa kanakong stairs padong sa building og sa murag main road sa may park. So mag-add ko niya ako ang nahunaan na design na stairs kay mura siya pina-sidewalk na kuan na style na cemented niya gi-extend na ko pa dong sa building para mura siya sumpay lang somehow. Then nagunahon na ako na instead of ako ang current na elevation kay 0.8 meters man akong i-lessen goro to 0.5 para dili kayo para mas mugamay goro ang steps. Pwede po.
0.5,
Then
okay.
sa concession nako sir sa second floor naglibog ko sa katong may alfresco dining kay naglibog ko if usa siya ka cafe niya murag restaurant-ish niya na alfresco dining or like open food court ng jud siya muna ang murag na ako lang yung gilabel daan.
Okay. Sige, so wala pa kayo progress. Okay. Nalang ko pa-note lang ko for Friday. Okay, katong section drawing na nalibog ko so what's going on. It's so laggy. Kamang yun. See, here. So palihog lang ko, could you send me a 3D of this maybe later or like Friday? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Wait, I'll zoom in more. Okay, to me it looks like the escalator is kanang opening out to na siya yani bitaw. Yeah, how do I get up here? Like what my steps? It looks like slab ra siya niya. Saka kaning murag ilawong bitaw sa escalator before you get on the escalator. So I don't know what's going on here. So just send me a drawing there, maybe in 3D. Maybe na sayop ni siya og cut or I don't know what's happening here. Sige. Okay, so that was a long introduction. Let's move on to the next student, which is no problem. Cortez, I'll load up your work here. Grades again. No, wait, I have a folder. Cortez. 2,000 kilobytes from Ontato Pro. Lagi akong kayo. Cortez. Is that C or K? Here. Let's see. Okay, so this is another one of the entrance arch is kind of kanang simang to the building. The building is very kanang blocky. And the entrance arch is what's going on here?
Okay, sir. I will change my archway because it's different. So my concept for the buildings is I will have simple na structure and then I will make up for the form with double skin facade. So that is perforated or like na holes. And then my other concept is like meiosis. So if you can see through the supermarket na ay white na forms on the supermarket facade.
Hmm. Okay. What was the concept behind the entrance arch?
So because my concept is like parang branding niya is like
Hmm.
clover and then meiosis. I want to have like a bio nga concept. But
So, what is this? Basically, ako tana na. Unsay, what is this supposed to look like?
so
Is
I
this
have
the actual shape that you want na curve siya, or is this supposed to look like a clover?
no sir. But I have a sample from Pinterest that I got.
Sige, sige. Send lang sa Messenger or something. Sige.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I'm really curious, what is the kanang reasoning sa kanina shape? Or kanang nagdali lang kanya, you needed to put something.
Yes, sir.
Kanara good, no problem. Because I really like the building here. This is very good proportion. Very good proportions and design here. Na notice na everyone she didn't I don't want to presume your gender, so she lang. uh, you didn't put this material all the way to the bottom. You left some like paint here, so that's good contrast. You have your logo here, that's like up, like good positioning. You didn't put it all the way in the center, more like 1/3 of the way. So the building themselves look pretty good now already. I don't have anything against blocky designs. In fact, I prefer blocky designs. It's really kani imong entrance arch murag eyesore, naguba imong design sa building tungod sa entrance arch. Anyway, sige pa dayon ta. Na-send mo?
Wala.
I didn't receive anything. Or maybe you could put it here sa chat. Ako ay open. Okay, let's see. The inside looks pretty good. So kani dol-dol na gini sa dol-dol na gini sa final, and I think this would get a very solid. If you just submit this for the final, you get I think very solid, like 65%. So pasar na siya daan sa preliminary stage pa lang. Let's check the inside. Okay, so the line work here is a bit better. That's a very big 5087 hip roof. Okay, that will do. Maybe, let me check, what was it called? Hypermark. I'm gonna check the span of the roof. Let's see. It says SM hypermarket. Let's see, measure distance here to here. Okay, that's about 100 meters, so very doable. And then the distance from here to here is 200 meters. Pwede again. I was worried that the roof shape might be kind of what do you call this? Not a normal sort of roof shape for a building that's this size. Pero it's very doable now. You can do this like in a hip roof type setting. You have your AHUs up there, and then you have the okay. This one might need some fixing. For this building here, maybe you can adjust the angles of the roof. So maybe something like this would be better. Instead of what we currently have. Or, let me check. Because I think you started here on the smaller side to make the roof shape. So maybe something like that. Maybe something like that. Okay, this one looks a bit too awkward. This wouldn't get built this way. Okay, so far so good. Let's check. Oh, the inside is very developed already. Let's see. So these are the sort of storage areas for the deliveries. You have marketing, electrical room, cold storage, freezer storage. Okay, employees lounge. Very generous employees lounge. So I think the employees lounge is a bit large, like proportionally. We try to keep it within 1,000 square meters. So just looking at this, excuse me. So this would count as the warehouse area, this part here. So this is more or less the same area now, or like just a little bit less than your supermarket. So I think it's the employee lounge just really too big. So maybe reduce that. And then, so you can have more sellable space, maybe up until here lang imong employee space, up until there. And then you can make this change to blue. And then you can expand your supermarket like that. Basically move these spaces into here, and then maybe your employee lounge will be kind of a bit smaller, like kana lang diri or something.
Sir, I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
For the space requirements, like our limit for warehouse area is 1,000 square meters, right? So is it lahi, sir, from like cold storage area, or it's included?
Okay. So this is based na on your research. Supposedly, I'm not supposed to tell you. But since it's already preliminary, I think it's okay. Tanan storage areas, freezers, I would classify that as warehouse. Okay, what do you call this? This is all back of the house. So you can simplify warehouse area to back of the house. If you're familiar with that concept, kailan ba mo ng back of the house?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so sure, kana residential design mamo. So look over here. Okay, ang objective unta sa what they call this design brief. Okay, part na in your research, like muna mo nag-identify og front og back of the house, and then kamo tayo mo decide. Pero since kana first plate pa man, and I'm a bit what do you call this? I guess maikog ko ninyo na I won't tell you. All your warehouse spaces includes the cold storage, the freezer, what they call this, employees, basically tanan back of the house. So all employee spaces and all sort of like service spaces, that includes kanang that is included in the warehouse. So just think na I guess the easiest way to think about it is, should customers see the space? So should customers see the employee lounge? So definitely no. So definitely warehouse. Should the customer see the employee toilets? Definitely no. So warehouse. Should the customer see the freezers? Definitely no. So warehouse. So tanan na spaces that the customers can access, that's front of the house. So you put that into your supermarket space. Front house. I just call it front house. So this is your super market. I'm just writing it really fast. So you're expanding your knowledge based on the house design. Okay, you have private spaces and public spaces. So now that you're in the supermarket, tanan public spaces front of the house, tanan private spaces back of the house, and we'll even expand further on this when we do our next plate. So it'll become even more complicated. So you have to really kanang what they call this, do your research. I won't tell you na sa final sa next plate unsay front or back, and then I'll just check it quietly So next project. But for this is the first one. I'll just tell you them outright. Okay, let's see. So mo to siya reduce lang. I think we'll do a bit of rearranging here sa back. Na masud ni tanan toilets. I think you can even reduce the toilets. Kay kuan man siya 2,000 square meter na supermarket. Maybe you need about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe about 520 mga 30 staff members at one time. That's just like based on my experience lang. So you don't need kanang that many toilets. So how do you determine the number of staff members? Just like think about your experience sa supermarket. How often do you see a staff member in these aisles? Maybe sa Ayala or sa SM, you see 1 or 2 people like shelving the aisles. Maybe sa what they call this meat area, kind of where they chop the meat for you, where they like prepare the fish for you. We have like another maybe like 5 people. So how big your meat area is, this is probably it over here. So that could be like 10 people. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 aisles times 2. 22 people, so 20 plus another 10, maybe 30, maybe 40 people. So that's how you estimate it, like based on your experience lang. And also your research. Okay, let's see. Inside looks good. So you didn't have to design the inside of the concession spaces, for that's good. You can leave it blank, but since you already designed it, I guess we can count that as plus points. And then over here, I guess this is dining area. Let me just highlight it. Can you share, Diri?
Yes, sir. Sa left, sir, na ay kiosk.
Sa left.
Food
Kani.
court.
Kani.
Ano, sir? Yes, kiosk niya.
Okay, so kiosk din siya. Yep, that's good. You don't need to design the inside of the kiosk. You can just label it as kiosk. Okay, ang main good mo the design is here sa supermarket. And the spaces here, you can just leave blank lang. Okay, they're gonna work inside the supermarket. So I appreciate that you did the inside of your concession spaces. It's very good. Okay. Let's see. Going down. What was the reasoning for this like circular shape sa imuhang open space na area?
I want the seating here to be circular around the trees. And then I incorporated my concept na meiosis.
Okay, good. I just wanted to know. Usually in defending your thesis, people will be asking like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? So let me see, I go back to your front page over here. I'll be looking sa final, like some kind of short description. Why did you choose meiosis? Why is it important to you? Why is it important to the supermarket? That will be kanang sa final na. Like you put a brief explanation for design choices. I'm sure you're all aware na. Let me just show you some samples of some of the previous work. Final senior high school. I'll just use this like a JPEG one. Okay, this one isn't very good, except for the really good ones. Something like that. So final, I suggest doing A3 size because we may print it. Okay, we're having the design awards. So if you have a really good design, we'll display it in the design awards. So A3 size, you can have it portrait or landscape. Notice that you'll have your kanang, where's my highlighter tool? You have your concept here, and then you have your exterior images. This is a good way to like make your first page. And this one is not so well arranged. Kaya murag giyabo lang ang kuan, ang exterior perspective. So try to arrange it a bit better as a final. But yeah, mo na yung gi-highlight. You have short description of what your concept is. And then maybe sa floor plans, this student didn't really describe it. Maybe like if you have a unique design in a classroom over here, this is a school building, you can like put a call out and you can explain why is it designed this way. So I'm trying to find a really good example. Where is our like let's see. kinsa to'y pangan. I think it was this one. Yeah. So the best design or final presentations really explain the design. So notice na daghan ka siya text explaining ano ingon ani, why is it shaped this way. And then so next page, they explain like why are the materials done this way. Yeah, vertical architectural fins, what's the design elements. So they explain that. So mostly it's the first few pages, and then the rest you can just let the design speak for itself, like kasabot na. And then over here we have details. So you have unique details like kaning yang how she did the kanang what they call this shading. So let me just zoom in. So architectural fins, you can Google this. I think that's a technical term. Situated in the longer sides or elevations of the buildings, basing on the sub-diagram, can shade the building in an angular side without disrupting the light itself. So at the same time, allowing air into the room via sliding windows. So this sort of breaks up the kanang lighting inside the room so that it's not direct sunlight. Okay, if you ever kanang stepped outside and kanang lunchtime niya, pabuwad ka, that's direct sunlight. So what this sort of fins do is it breaks the sun path or like the light path into this orange line here. So it reflects up the ceiling and then into the room, but you still have some direct light this showed by this yellow broken line. So it's still brightly lit, but it's not hot. And then over here is the same thing on the other side. What she also used kind of double skin facade. Basically, you have the fins and then the wall. So this is the white line over here, the vertical line. And again, it just like provides more shading and makes the spaces cooler and without sacrificing kind of light. So it's not dark. Okay. And then you have description of the different rooms. Bro, this is more for your one. This is an AR3200 Matsugana submission or a 100 Venetia. Let me go back. This is the AR3100. So this was basically one your batch or like your class right now. This is not AR3200. Okay. So just a bit, that's how you can get really to like the design award standard. You describe and explain your design. Okay, this looks good. So again, I would suggest na in the final, I'll make this full screen. You really use the whole page because currently seems like this is the most important information on the page, which shouldn't be the case. You can reduce your labels to maybe like that size. Sananay mo label, supermarket. Your name should be down here. So your drawings can be bigger. So that should be the size of your elevation. So these should be the size of your elevation. I like that you keep the label here on the lower right and you put the scale over there. That's fine. So basically bigger drawings. Bigger drawings. And then you don't need to put like supermarket like that much. Let's see, go over here. So notice I'm going faster by with the elevations because the perspectives were very well done and I know exactly what's happening with the building, so I don't need to like zoom in so much. This is the back of the warehouse. This is the west elevation of the warehouse and the concession spaces. So basically, when you design your building better, it's easier for me to check. I have less questions. And then if I have less questions, I know exactly what's going on, you get a bigger grade. So this is a very, very good submission. And it even showed, okay. So you can see the line weights being applied even before I gave the instruction. Solid black for the walls. You can show the inside if you want through, I think you can save time by just showing the solid black. And then you can clearly see now this is a warehouse area. This cross section is a bit weak. Okay, I think the only part that's being shown is this part here. This is the only part that's being shown by the cross section. Otherwise, it's basically an elevation. So improve lang your cross section to show more spaces on the inside. Okay, next. Okay, that's all. Okay, so this is very good. This is a very good submission. Very good submission. So good job. Thank you for that, Hazel. Okay, next one. I don't have any question unless you want to show some progress.
I have no progress sir.
Okay.
Research lang.
Sige, sige. No problem. So continue lang, and it's already very good. Even if you submit it like this, you'll probably still get a passing grade. So you're well beyond that. Okay, let's see. Next one on my list is Cheyenne. Cheyenne. I'm a bit late, so maybe we'll go a bit over time. Ortega. Ortega. Where is it? Schematic 2. I say schematic 2, but it's supposed to be preliminary. Ortega. Okay, so these colors are fine. They're a bit light. Bro, adjust them lang sa final. I think this is just for the sake of preliminary designs. So this is a supermarket connected to the concession spaces via a bridge or like a crosswalk. We shall see. Next page. It's not responding. How big is this file? It's only 2 KB. It's probably because it's a lot of pages. Okay. Document is being prepared for maybe mas paspas siya sa canvas. We go to canvas here. Ortega, Ortega, Ortega. LMNO. And notice you get a total of 70 in this submission because the first 30 points was the previous submission katatong progress checking. So that's how I prefer to do things. Na ato i-break up ang points para generally everybody gets more points. So you submit everything at the end and there's so many mistakes. So this way we can create better designs. So let's see. This looks good. It loads very fast on Canvas. Okay, it's under 10 MB. Let's see, what's this? Concession first and second. Okay, so you broke up the floor plans. Okay. So the first thing I really want to see sa final is combined floor plans and not just like broken up into different drawings. So maybe you can combine, at least just for the floor plans lang, you can combine all these like buildings. So you have like one sort of consolidated group floor plan. Okay, with this, it's kind of hard to check because I don't see how it relates to the supermarket here. So it's broken up. So that's your first comment. Is Cheyenne here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so kana for the final combined
Yes,
floor
sir.
plan. Okay. So far, concession space looks good. I'll just skip to the supermarket because that's really what we're checking. Okay, grocery floor plan and na-separate put ang warehouse. Yeah, the warehouse also separated. Okay,
Oh.
no problem. So, and let's see. I'll go to the warehouse floor plan. Where is the warehouse floor plan? But at least the drawings are big. Okay, here, warehouse. So you see now the problem is I have to like go through several pages in order to see. So final combined floor plans. Let's see. Loading, unloading. You have, I guess. Oh, those are the pallets. Okay, where you put the thing. So far, so good. Maybe i-kuhan lang ni siya. All this. Maybe something like that. Or daghan
Adyan
siya.
ako nakuhaan ang furniture diha, sir.
Okay ra. No problem. It won't affect the grade of this submission. I'm just like making notes for the final. Basically, sa kanina submission, if you have all the drawings, that's already kanang for me 50 points na. So if you have all the drawings, no problem. These comments are for the final submission. So your employee CR, canteen, lounge area, locker, employee entrance, that's good. So you have an entrance here. I'll just mark it. Okay. And then you have cold storage, hot storage. Hot storage, meaning kanang dry storage.
I dry storage.
Guna kung sa may hot pre-cook ba. And maybe zoom out to gamay ha. So just for safety, you have employee entrance here. You might need an emergency exit somewhere here.
Ah,
Kana lang. I think sakto na siya for entrance and exits.
ay pwede
And
sad ko magbutang og exit sa kanang dapit sa may loading and unloading deck, sir, no?
kani exit man po na siya. So, oops,
Ay,
sorry. Ang reason why nindot na siya entrance exit here and entrance exit here, kay in case na ay sunog dire, you can still get out here. And the people can still get out there. But what if, let me say, sorry, okay. What if the sunog is here and fire here in the unloading area? Like you never know, fire happens, accidents happen. So having an extra exit like here, I think maybe even here na lang siguro. I'll just delete that, somewhere here. So you have 3 points of exit, or in case fire happens here and here, na kay third escape. So siguro is very kanang almost paranoid bitaw na design for it's advised because you really don't want people to get trapped in your building. So maybe another exit like here, emergency exit lang. So it's only exit. You can't go in here. So for security reasons, customers can't get in here and maybe unwanted guests can't get in here. So fire exit, you can check. Okay, I'll just take a note of that there. Additional exit. Okay. And I like that you have your offices up on top so they can supervise the loading and unloading. Okay, 8 meters manation at all. That's a good setup over there. Okay, now I'll go to the supermarket. Okay, so you have your entrance here and the entrance. It's already very good because you have 2 entrances. You have a third entrance here, and I think you need an emergency exit here. Okay, we'll discuss this more in the coming weeks. Emergency exit. We'll go through the fire code of the Philippines. Encircled. Circled space equals emergency exit. Okay. Let's see. You have the shelves are more realistic now. You have the dairy area, poultry meat area. Okay, this looks very good. So if you had design similar to this, I think also the previous submission had something similar. You all know how to design the groceries. Wine area, pharmacy, very good. Now let's take a look at your nabakay ka ng aerial perspective.
ay wala or basta.
Okay, no problem. Sige. I'll just take a look at your elevations na siguro. So this is the concession space elevations, okay? And then this is the concession space perspective, and then the supermarket perspective is down here. Okay. So the common element is this thing. I think that's a good start. Maybe kuan siya, ma-develop siya further. Let me just zoom in. Okay, preliminary pa man, so no problem. Maybe I'll go to your previous submission for design reference. Ortega. I really wish they would let us put the last name in front, student name. Oh. So let's look at your current favorite design. So this is why I asked you guys this in the first place. Okay, we can use it as, okay, now it makes sense. So very clean lines. I really like this. It looks very modern without. So over here, let me close that. Over here, we can sort of reference it. I think the thing that's throwing me off or throwing the design off is your inspiration or like your current design taste or your preference in design. The roof here, the roof lines and the walls are very thin, almost Murag yung siya drawing lang na line. Here, it's a bit thicker and murag naguba ang proportion sa design. Like over here, even though we're trying to make it as thin as possible, it's still thick compared with us reference. So what I would do, if you want to maintain this kind of like thinness, modern design, we could probably do something like, how would I draw that? Okay, be something like that. And we do something like that. Maybe something like that. So in section, it looks like this. Let me see. Actually, I don't think that will work. But we still need some kind of roofing here. Okay, let me erase again. Maybe that's not a good idea. I'll just draw the bones of the structure. So you have your columns here. The columns are very thick. We will find a way to hide them. But for now, the columns are like that. And then we have, okay, sorry. I need a different section. So our building basically looks like this. And we want to have that extending line over there. And then we have our buildings over here. And then the real issue with like trying to do this minimalist look, okay, the columns are very thick. So it end up looking kanang very heavy. Even though we try to make the elements thin. And then we want this to go out like that, something like that. So, how will the roof structure look like here? Or maybe we can just have it slab put. Where do you put slab shark and some kind of composite na steel material? Let me see. Something like this. I'll need to like go further. Let's get. Oops, not that. No, I erased it. Oh well. Save as sample perspective. Because there's something on here. There's something really good about this. I'm trying to figure out how do we like bring out that design. Open with Photoshop. So is this like your design intent to make everything like very light? Ortega?
Ay kuan sa napautan ay like kanang like something like more siya parapet wall then kanang murag mo cover sa roof unta pero since murag ang slope man sa roof kay dili kay siya kataas kay murag
Okay. So mubaga pa unta ni siya. Like something like that.
ay kuan sir sa kanang nga part sir kay kuan na siya sir ina kanang nipis na sir siya sir.
I think it looks good na sakto na yung proportion ni this siya dire. Then mag-add kag parapet here.
Oh yes sir.
Okay. So I think maybe something like that. And maybe ang problema is like it's so exposed kani siya na space, like direct sunlight. So we may need to like push out a bit. Push out a little bit more. Murag mo extend siguro mong parapet. Malawom ni siya dire. And then I think the glass will work for this design kay mo to yung mong inspiration, very minimalist. Or that's your current style. So maybe atalin is set back ni siya dire. Ang problema na karon, the columns look so kanang tambok bitaw. And
Uh.
we can't make it thinner because that's the structure. So my suggestion would be to how do we like make the columns look thinner? Maybe we can add, and that's a bit too much. Painting it's like too much now. Ah, let me see, maybe something like that. Let me change this to, then I'll add some white. Oops. Guess it's kind of there. It's still a bit going blank for me. Ang problema gid, I can't figure out how to make the columns look thin because what do you call this? We have to make them thick because of your column spacing. But there's something here. I can't figure out how to make it look better. Pero my suggestion would be to avoid kanang horizontal lines. Basically, if what do you call this? Avoid lines like this. Whoops. Okay, diba you're trying to break up your windows like that. Makes it look heavier. So maybe we emphasize the vertical lines more. That you can do this with like the arrangement of your windows. Maybe we can put some kanang groovings sa columns. Basically, kung mo na imong column in plan, mo add kag more gamay ng anak, or lang to add another like vertical line. I don't know. These are just like suggestions. For the most part, your plan is good. And your elevations are good. Let me check your sections. Let me see. Oh, it's already 9:48. We might need to divide this into two sessions. Sections. Where are the sections? Here. The sections, not so clear. Okay, I would suggest that you increase the line thickness where the roof is cut or where the building is cut. So I can see, now that's the edge bitaw. Like for example, for example, your building is like this, black. This is your floor plan like this, and you have a column here, column here, column here. Then you cut like that. So in the section, baga ni siya ang lines sa columns, or you can make it solid black. Then you can see the roof slab, or like the slab. Yeah, you can see the drop ceiling or the ceiling, and then you can see the roof na nanana. Oops. You can see the floor slab, and then you can see the column footing. Okay, here it's one. Wala kay same line weight naman tanan, so I can't tell where it's being cut, but at least I can tell what's on the inside. So kana ra. Okay, kana lang. It's a very interesting design. I really want to explore more. Anyway, I need to have a schedule to keep. Thank you for that, Cheyenne. Next we have Dan Audrey. So I'll show the work here. Do you have any updates, Cheyenne, or wala ra?
Wala ra sir, pero like nakoy gipang take note pa ay same atong murag drop off areas sa
Okay, good. Sige. Sige, padayan lang. It's the same tan or that's a different tan? and Audrey. So I'll try to go a bit faster. Let's see. Okay, so immediately my comment is try to add some color. Okay, can't tell where the building is. Much better with the floor plans. So ground floor plan, and then the second floor plan. This is the warehouse area. That's the supermarket area. Okay, so this is like something more. This is what I was expecting. I didn't expect everyone to like lay out the supermarket right away. That's good. So we're focusing on the massing here, perspective views. Okay, north elevation, east elevation, south. Okay, so the elevations kind of look like the same because massing pa. So develop lang further so we can figure out where the supermarket and the warehouse are. The sections are also very kind of not there yet. It's a good preliminary submission. Maybe kanang a little below average. Okay, I can't see where the roof is. I don't know where the footings are. So in the section, that's what we're looking for, like where the footings, where the roof is. Their interior heights, bro, nothing is inside yet, bro, because nothing is like in the floor plan. But this is a good preliminary design. My suggestion would just be to continue developing. And then since the exterior is still very much kind of massing stage, I don't have any advice as to how to develop it further. Except for that, you look at the buildings that you like, and then you try to apply those sort of elements to your supermarket. Like you have like one reference building, and then you use it. So far, the parking looks good. You have the drop-off area over, let me zoom in a bit. Drop-off areas inside the lots are already there. So good building blocks. Not much comments, kay not much is here. Okay, Audrey, is Audrey here? Maybe she's not here. Or internet problems. Okay. Let's see. Next, we have Charmaine Sanchez. Reload your work. Sanchez, S.A.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Let's see. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Maratas, Masbad, Mountain, Ortega, Salido, Sanchez. Okay. This is the, what is this called? Art Museum in Oita. Okay, let's see if, I think you can very easily apply that style in your supermarket. Let's load it here. Let's see, okay, floor plans are very clear. Akani siguro, these trees here, I think you need to make them a lighter line weight so they don't appear black. Okay, place weight and line weight. Okay, for some reason I can't zoom out, so I don't know why. It's grade. Let's see, supermarket, warehouse. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So this is an example of a concession space separated from the supermarket, but I think accessibility is still good because you have a very wide sort of sidewalk area or connecting sort of space, transition space between the supermarket and the concession. So this should be okay. Floor plan wise, nothing sticks out to me. You have the repacking area. Okay, cold storage, electrical. Okay, and then you have the employee spaces here, purchases office. Okay, this looks pretty good. Let's go down to the elevations. Session spaces, okay. Exposed hip roof, I like that. Left side, right side. I'll skip to the one perspective. Okay. Is there a perspective that's a bit more? Ah, nice. Let's see. So we are over here. I think the next thing to model would be like the parking spaces or the vehicle entrance. Para the viewer can figure out where they're looking, what they're looking at. So I think for the most part, the design looks good. The thing na medyo simang, now that I look at it like from an aerial perspective, is the hip roof. Good for what do you call this, typhoon resistance, pero aesthetically, it looks a bit kaneng simang in this design. Also, this area here. We might need to do something there. Let me just zoom in. Zooming in, zooming in. So the issue here is that there's supposed to be gutters here, but it's blocked by a wall here. So that might not be a good sort of roof configuration for this specific area. Maybe we can just have one slope like that, and it's going this way. You don't need to apply hip roof to everything, especially since there's a bigger roof on top. Maybe this change to one slope. Over here, this is fine, but maybe if at the back, if it hits the wall, you might want to change the direction of the slope. Okay. Sections are decent. I can see like the bottom of the building, second floor. This one is also okay, but this is the main issue again. So how will the water go down? Or I think you need to have like setbacks, roof eaves to allow for like the gutters. Or maybe just make it one single slope away from the building. Okay. Let's see. So far, so good. So this one, I can't zoom out. Why can't I zoom out? Ortega. See, yes, nope. Ortega.
Sir Sanchez.
Sanchez, sorry, brain. Let's go to the aerial perspective. I think there's something wrong with my PDF viewer. Oh, it slows down because of multiple pages. Maybe it can only handle like 10 pages. I don't know. It loads lantao like so I have another file here that's several pages. Like for example, lantawan. Or is the approved layout? Like this thing is 100 pages, but it loads right away. So maybe it's a Revit thing. It just loads fine. Here it takes a minute. There, okay. So, Anisha. So we need to, sa final, i-drawing lang ang, like this parking area here. The parking area is over there. Let me go back.
Park na siya diha, sir.
Park na siya? Okay. Go back. Where's the floor plan? Okay, it's all park. Good. So the road is on the, wait, this is the right file? This is the right file, okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me open it. Yeah. Okay, so we need to zoom out a bit more. So for example, this is your picture. Show the edge of the road. Or makita na to on driveway. And then your buildings will be here. buildings will be here. Kaning murag nasaag ko, I don't know where I am. So we put the park. Yeah, design the park. Di ba na may design ng park? Yeah. Na-share ka ng pathways. So show the pathways of the park. Like that. Itong mga lines nimo. And I think the next issue we need to address are these exposed of hip roof. We can keep it. Do you want to keep the hip roof exposed? I don't want to hide it with the parapet.
I'll hide it siguro, sir.
Oh, pwede, you can keep it. I'm just asking now which one is like better for you. Okay, I like the idea of showing the hip roof because it makes it more kanang honest bitaw. And I think it's kanang very missed opportunity, and every time we do a hip roof we have to hide it in a parapet. It makes all our buildings sort of kanang deceitful, I guess. It's not honest architecture. And there are several ways you can make this look better. What was that book called? Let me get my phone real quick. Because I saw a good design with a hip roof or like exposed hip roof the other day. What was it called? Contemporary Houses in the Philippines. Contemporary houses in the Philippines. Maybe something like this. Open image new tab. Oh, open link. Book. Like something like that. You can see part of the roof, but maybe you can see inside. Something like this. Or maybe even something like this. So really like kanang celebrate the hip roof. Okay, this is a good opportunity. Let me go back to your design. Let's go to the. Okay, so from the sort of man's eye view, I don't think you need a parapet. It looks already very clean at this scale, or like at this sort of perspective. So the only issue is like when you're, what do you call this? Let me open it up with SketchUp. SketchUp. You can close this. I need Photoshop for this. No, I don't think so. Remind me later. We'll do something like that, and that. Offset that. And then maybe something like that. Oh no, it's broken up into different now. Like that. There we go. Okay, so let's see. I guess like we just need to make it look good from across the street. Like if I'm standing across the street, this is what I will see. This is basically what's happening over here. So maybe a good sort of additional element to the hip roof, we can like accentuate the edges with a gutter. So I'm just gonna do something like that. Let's say gutters are around 0.3, and you can like push that out. Maybe 0.3 put. Oops. and up until there. 0.3. And this one goes here. And then when you're basically, I'll scale this up to the size of your supermarket. Oh no, it's not grouped properly. Group. Scale this up. Maybe like that. Did I height si mo ang supermarket?
Ako siya, ay, 8,000, sir. Same height sa warehouse.
A bit tall, yeah. You can work with that, so maybe something like that. So when you're down here, now it even looks more flat now. Like if you add a, what do you call this? Looks cleaner when you add a gutter over here. And oops, sorry. And add like the gutter over here. And then on the far view, it would look more kind of solid without more part of the building if you add that. Now, so mubaga siya at the edge of the roof, which I think will just make it look a little bit more part of the design and not murag ka ng di ka siya simang tanawon bitaw. So basically harmonizing the roof and the bottom, like the body of the building. So yung head and the body basically. And then over here, yeah, the interiors looks fine. Let me see. Yeah, we already checked the interiors. Kanisha, as I mentioned earlier, there's a thing called double glazing. So you need to ask yourself, do you really want to do double glazing, or do you want to kanang reduce the window size? Okay, you can keep it like this. You just need to provide, like, this is double glazing. I need to provide the drawing of the double glazing. You need to explain how double glazing works. Or maybe we could nindot naman siya tanawon nga nani. Looks good like this. I don't want to make it smaller. The other alternative would be save, yes, as sample perspective 2. The other alternative ako masuggest is open with and could alternate the windows. Oops. I'll use a hard round brush. Bigger brush. So we're reducing the window surface area. So we're providing more shade on the inside. And then, Hannah, what do you think of that? Oops. I'm not saying this is the only solution. I'm just providing you some suggestions. Something like that. Is it better or worse? Up to you now. That's just my suggestion. So you can reduce the heat inside and it may look a bit better because we're sa kanina sort of alternating pattern. You're emphasizing the height of the building. Okay, nindot siya kay 8 meters mapod. So maybe that will look good. The next issue is sa final, you need to really justify why you need 8 meters sa mong supermarket area because it's very tall na. I'll let you think about that like for this week, and then kita na po ta siguro maybe Monday for your kanang progress, like what your final decision would be. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is the
Thank you,
advantage
sir.
of providing kanang good perspectives because we can get a clear picture of what you want to do sa final. Okay, very well done. Not so much kanang issues sa inside. We're really kanang finalizing the the look of the building. Whew, we're a bit slow still. It's already 10 o'clock and behind. Next, we have a Cometa, Karen. I also load this on here, the inspiration. Cometa, okay, and then over here, Cometa. I'll close my Photoshop. Let's see. Supermarket ground floor. So that's the supermarket. Number 5 is, this is also a good way to like present your spaces. You can use a legend. My only comment here is the site plan is gonna, what do you call this? I can't zoom out again. I don't know why Canvas does this. So this is a comment for everyone, not just for Cometa over here. Now, so final, if you have like, if this is your page, I'll just, I'll draw it over here. If this is your whole page, for example, A3 landscape, you have a drawing that's this big. Let me undo. I can't undo. Oops. You have a drawing that's this big, and you put it in the center. You could probably add more images here, so left and right. Okay, sayang ng space diri sa final. So final, I really want you to make use of all of the page. So maybe you can put your site plan here, and you can put your perspective here. Your legend will be here, and then you can have your description here. What is going on in my design? So that's just a general comment for everyone. Let's look at the supermarket. So you have your concession spaces, toilets. Let's look at the entrance and exits. So we have one entrance over here. I think we definitely need another exit over here. Okay, layo kay sa tuyo kay lalakaw bitaw. And
Ay,
you can
sir,
add.
murag wala nakita mo sa ka-entrance.
Nay entrance diri. Okay,
Yeah,
let me see.
dapit siya doon sa CR, so kanang tapad doon ng column.
Okay, good. That's good. So maybe like that, and then like that.
Dira dapit siya.
Kani siya medyo long ni siya na hallway, so might be good pud na kay murag. Di ramp ni. Dili
Dili siya.
kani siya. Okay, so I think a third entrance might be good here.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and then you can add murag kiosk here. Boxless lang, you label it kiosk for more people buy stuff. Kaya naman toilet diri, so maybe they can buy drinks, and then they eat whatever. More bitawag sa Rustan supermarkets Ayala sa katong bottom ground floor. Here is another entrance, I think. No, these are staircases over here. Or no, that's one meat display. Okay.
Yeah, meat display.
So you have entrance here, entrance. So for the most part, that should be okay. Maybe we need emergency exit here, and maybe emergency exit somewhere here. Okay, I'll just label that as emergency exit. I think the rule is every 25 to 30 meters, there should be an exit for a building that's more than 60 meters long. So your building is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 60 meters long. So okay, again, now we need an emergency exit somewhere in the middle. Okay. Let's see. 1 is meat section. So 16 should be your storage. Yep, cold storage. 15 is meat storage. You have your toilets for your employees. 20 is air handling units. And then 19 is storage condenser. 18 is electrical room. And then 17 is mechanical room. Okay. I think, yeah, that this will work. Okay. Sometimes the mechanical room will have like a lot of like exterior na utilities, so you can have it there. Then you're loading, unloading, and then your storage. Okay, so far so good. Okay, So that's your supermarket area. Parking looks fine. Your concession spaces should be up next. Supermarket, second floor. Ah, okay, you have your second floor. Canteen, purchaser's office, manager's office. Ah, okay. So this part here is kanang the first floor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Sige, good. Let's see. Your concession spaces, very standard. You have what's going on here? Staircase and escalator. Okay, that's fine. I even have a elevator ba? Okay. So usually elevators aren't used sa kuan kanang two-level na structure, but maybe you can sneak one in for PWD. But usually if it's 2 floors lang, no elevators, because elevators are very expensive and they're only required when you reach 4 stories. So you might be able to like fit a ramp in here sa kanina space to go up to the second floor, which will make your kanang supermarket more accessible to more people. Concession space, the second floor looks good. Ah, okay, it's the Greenway Grocery. I remember this design. So this is more of my own. Oh, nice! You include the structural layout. It's very appreciated. My own personal like preference. I don't like it when buildings put the label. You can
Mausa na
still
akong
keep it.
mausa na akong plano i-change sir basin sa ubos na lang na ibutang ko.
Yeah,
Sa
something
sa
smaller. Or diya
Kay-
sa kuan sa entrance bitaw sa daan instead of on top of the building. Kaya for
yun.
me, this is just my own preference. Depending na rin sa teacher. Pero I also won't deduct you if you have your label here. But for me lang, it's a bit baduy in actual practice. I don't like it. Pero
Yes.
I just like wanted to share my my thoughts on that. Okay, let's look at this. So this is the supermarket. Where am I looking? Ah, this is the concession spaces. Okay. Ah, okay, now I can see it. Sige. So, moto siya ang general comment for everyone. So, the main grocery has this like hexagon na shape here. The concession space has sort of like the kanang half circle na roof and very kanang terraces, Ayala terraces looking design. And then the entrance arch is something completely different put. So the way I would kanang suggest, this is where I kanang will deduct points na is either you make everything repeat this hexagon shape here and you apply it here and you apply it here, or you use your concession space to influence the design of your grocery. So one uniform design for all the 3 elements. Okay, it just makes it look better. A clear example, I just realized, Archis Ninyo. And if you go to your Renaissance architecture, and why, what do you call this? A good example of kind of this idea of unity and harmony that I'm trying to, where is the Pisa complex? I hope you guys will apply in your design because I will be grading you on this. Here it is. Is the Pisa complex. So you have 4 buildings. You have the Campo Santo, the kanang graveyard or kanang cemetery. You have the baptistry, you have the main church, and then you have the leaning tower. So if you go down here, you ask yourself, I think most of you would say that these buildings look good. And the reason why they look good is very clear. They have all similar architectural styles. So this is Renaissance. What is the sort of key elements of the Renaissance? Is this like terracotta, like red tiles. You have kanang classical elements with a bit of kanang basically Roman elements that have revamped, cleaned up, a lot of white, a lot of kanang colonnettes. These are the small columns that are not structural but more kanang for design, for facade. So basically the baptistry has colonnettes, the church has colonnettes, the tower has colonnettes. I think the only thing that doesn't have colonnettes is the Campo Santo, the cemetery. But it's also implied they have like smaller, like half protruding colonnettes on their walls. So this is what I hope you'll achieve. Na all three elements, your grocery, your arch, your, what do you call this? Concession spaces have similar design styles. So kanisha, there are three different styles. So hopefully sa final, you can create one style that you can apply to all of the elements in your design. So they will look very unified and very kanang thought of. So murag, everything is supposed to be here, like the white paint, the colonnettes, the roof, everything is kanang harmonizing together. So hopefully you can achieve that over here. Like this is an interesting element here, kana imong louvers. Maybe you can apply that everywhere. So maybe your archway will have some louvers, maybe something like this, and your main grocery could have the louvers put here, and then you can remove na lang the hexagon, or up to you na. So that's just my suggestion. For the most part, the floor plans look good. So this is an excellent preliminary design. Definitely at least 90%, 95%. Yeah, not much comments there. Do you have any questions, Kara?
Ay, na-concern na ko gamay sa kanang drop-off na ko, sir. Okay ra ba siya nga ingato lang siya, sir?
Okay, over here.
Yeah, basi mo conscious traffic is ba? Kuan magud ko, sir, kanang akong gihimo inspired na, sir, ba kay katong nasa J-Mall nga type, sir. Nga come and go lang ang mga kuan.
So, kanisha, okay, the design is already very good. I don't want to break it. So, one advantage, but if you do your design well, very minor revisions lang. So, kani siya, kay naamang kay island diri, and the cars go in, this is okay for me. What I don't want is some students in our group, the drop-off is here. Ani lang, meaning the cars will drop here and then go like that. So, okay, the cars go inside, you have a separator here. I won't ask you to change it. Mostly because the buildings here already also look very good na.
Ang ako lang murag maingon nga update lang guro, sir, ba okay ra ba, sir, nga katong nakoy murag pattern gamay nga nasa kung waiting shed, sir, katong nasa perspective, sir, ba
Okay.
nga mura siya sa tawag kanay ang kani murag kanang nasa
Kani?
back kanang back sa kon mo na murag ako ang i-plan ka, sir, nga murag akong i-apply sa kanang sa facade sa kon, sir, ba concession pa og sa kanang grocery, sir, ba nga na lang guro probably like ni fit ra pud siya entrance arch, sir, or lahi ra pud ba?
Pwede na siya sa entrance arch, but like let me go here if tingnan nga ana or ana. Ana. If follow lang gid mo ni pattern diri. Pwede po dai mo entrance arch kana siyang same material ani kana transparent bitaw. Pwede po siya transparent. Di siya needed na solid siya. Bro, nindot na siya na idea na. Let me just draw that. Tapos i-draw par klaro. Muna ka nindot sa drawing kay klaro good ba? Save entrance arch. Ang problema lang, it will take time. Bro, I'd rather spend time here sa preliminary kaysa maglisod na sa final. Okay. So let's apply this pattern. Kanina color. I'll just use this color lang. Let's say I think any black thing needs to go, and maybe you could simplify that to something like that, and then maybe something like that, and then I'm gonna the pattern, and I'll just do that. Something like that. So you can really have it, for me, that this is the first thing that comes to my mind. I want it to be see-through. Kay muma ang pattern there is a waiting area. Do it like that. And maybe you can even make this kind of thicker. Like that. And then you can. And then you can maybe like that. And then if you're going to, I'm sorry, my voice is dying. If you apply this pattern everywhere, something like that, and kanisha something like this. Mapareha na siya sa Pisa complex. We have one common element. Sa Pisa complex, it's kuan man. It's this. Let me highlight it. It's these colonnettes, man. They appear on all the buildings, like over here, and over here, and a little bit over here. So this could be your colonnette or your design motif, kanisha. So experiment lang. You can definitely do something like this. And if you have questions, update me lang po. Or you can message me. Any questions?
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
No problem. Okay, so we have some very good designs. Oh no, there's still so many students. Atienza John. I think Atienza lost internet. He messaged me earlier. But I still go through his work lang, but nobody gets left behind. Tienza. So if it's not your turn, you can sort of do something else to go faster. Let's see. Load. Please load. Let me check my. Excuse me. It's supposed to be 9 MB lang. I don't know why it's taking so long. Oh, it's multiple pages. Close this. Okay, I'll keep that. Let me see. Okay, it loaded in Canvas. So we have our supermarket. We have, I think, 2 giant trees. A warehouse at the back. The concession space is kanisha. The concession space for me is a bit too far na from the supermarket. So we need to make this connection sort of attractive by providing like easier access, like through sidewalks, or maybe you make it, the design should be very inviting so that people from the supermarket will go to the concession space and vice versa, like from the concession space to the supermarket. We want that kanang foot traffic na move sila between the different spaces. Inside, this looks pretty good. Pretty much in progress. Warehouse looks good. I think this warehouse area is a bit too large. So I think this needs to be reduced. So instead of going all the way there, probably I'll make my line thicker. Like, yeah. Warehouse should only be until here lang siguro. Let me zoom in. Public restrooms. Oh, okay. So those are concession. Oh, okay. Concession spaces and the initial. Let me delete this. These are just notes for myself. Warehouse is over here. And then this is, oops. And this is concession space, public space over here. Additional. And then the grocery is over here. Supermarket. This layout is good. So if you have layouts like this, you can definitely proceed. Let's look at the elevations. Okay, I think we need to show over here. Show trusses in final. Okay. Neck elevation, rear elevation. Yeah, those are, he put the sections first. Show trusses in final. Look at the perspective. Okay. Looks very cool. Miss Van der Rohe. Okay, this looks good. I don't like the highlight of white windows, like the window frames. They're a bit distracting. I think my comment here would be nice. This looks good. Sure. White frame of windows is a bit distracting. I'll refer him to SR Crown Hall. Let's see. I would suggest to reference the Crown Hall building for the let's say design of the concession area. Okay. So why are these like white framings here for the windows distracting? Because everything else is dark, and it really kanang sort of looks a bit like an eyesore. Na everything is dark and then suddenly white framings of windows. Sa kanina building, let me show you. Loads. I just want the image. There we go. Notice all the materials have the same color. Even the frames are dark, so they look kanang basically like one whole piece, like uniform piece. The things here, the thing that really stands out na I don't think was part of the original design are these like main doors, or maybe it's actually designed that way. The main doors would stand out. Pero try to keep basically what I'm trying to say to all of you. Try to keep your colors and your materials more or less uniform, or you create a unified design similar to Leaning Tower Pisa over here, or the Pisa complex. So that's the only thing that would like what do you call this? Naguba ang design tugod aning white frames. I think that's easily fixed in Revit. Okay, I think this is pretty good. So more kind of minimalist dark color. So another issue here for Tienza when he watches this. So one of your buildings is white and the other one is black. So it's either all white or all black. So try to create that uniformity in the design, or that unity in design. So, and also I think we need to discuss like, how to improve the access way here from supermarket to concession space. So this is more for Tienza, and then hopefully maka-catch up siya na ako, later this week. Okay, next. Let's see. We close that. It's for wedding stuff. 15K ang banda. Okay. Those are equipments for the band. There's so many messages. Sorry, I'll go through. I think one of them was from Hazel. I'll go through that in a bit. Let's see. At Tienza, it's already 10:34. Let's go to tan floor. Tan floor. Tan floor. QRST. Okay. Okay, I think after this I need to get a glass of water because my throat is dying. Let's see. Oh, so if it says late, even though you submitted exactly 11, that's not really, I wouldn't consider that late. So it says here 11:01, so I wouldn't consider that late. So don't worry if you have the same situation. Why is this just a blank white page? Okay, here we go. Okay, again, that minimalist design. Let's see. Nasher's sculpture of Renzo piano. This is good. Okay. I like the strong sort of vertical elements with the columns over here. Let's see. That translates in this design. I don't know why Canvas limits my zoom in and zoom out. Something to do with the submission. I really don't know. Let me see. Floor tan. Close this. Close this. Tan, 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 tan. Wait for the loading again. Ooh. Oh my God, large files. So far, the exterior looks good. I'm not sure why this one over here is angled. This part here. Floor, are you here?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. So what's happening sa kaning other building na naimurag angle, naimurag kanang hip?
Concert. Sorry. Kanang concert. Kanang sa side elevation aning building a closer sir kanita sa right gani kay naka-angle man ay hang roof niya ganahan ko nga i-reflect siya sa other building for in a more subtle way. Pero sa ako na lang giusab sir sa or kuan akong giusarag building na jud ang concessionaire ug supermarket.
Okay.
So gidemolish na nako na ang kanang nasa left nga building.
Dool ni mo siya. Okay. Sige. I'll ask to see that later on.
Okay, sir.
So, kanish. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Sige. So, mo to atong reduce ni no? Reduce
Yes,
ni
sir.
siya. Okay. And then I think because your design already has so much glass, I think you have to go for the double glazing good.
Sir, akong para sa like kanang bag-ong revise na ko sir, akong less ang glass na sir murag kuan 1/4 na lang guro ang glass sa kanang per.
Okay. Sige. I'll just check your interiors and then mo share screen later.
Okay,
Let's
sir.
see. Okay, so this looks good. You have your public toilets. The warehouse area is over here. Storage, employees area, meat prep. Okay, we already discussed this before. Okay, looks good. Looks good. So second floor plan. So the whole thing is open to below, and then you have concession spaces and spaces. Okay, and then we adjusted this roof. Okay. So pretty much ang inside is fine. Let's take a look at the exterior. Can you share your screen?
Okay, sir, for a while.
Sige. Pilasters. Good morning, Sir Ruel. That's the word I was trying to find.
Currently, pa siya sir kanang work in progress pa akong pag-usab sa mga roof.
Okay.
So, kaning nasa back mo ni siya ang warehouse, ang kaning hall nga kani. Kay katong last time kay mura man to in a way nga nasagol ang mga roof sa kamo to ako already siya gi-divide na jud. And then ang slope sa roof kay from 20 kay akong gi-reduce to 10%. And then so na-delete na akong wall. Sir, akong idea sir kay kanira nga side ang like glass. Kanina ang whole diri kay solid na. And then magbutang po ko katong ganing mura siya a horizontal nga plane diri sir atong fence.
Atong fence pwede.
Yes sir kay since magbutang man ko like floor to ceiling ya taas kani siya sir ang new height niya kay ang kani siyang smaller na nga mas kay 480 na.
Okay.
Slope. So instead nag-uniform na ko siya nga katong 8 meters kay 4,800 na lang ako siya.
Mm.
And then, sir, gi-remove na dyan ako ang katong concessionaire nga space diri ako na siya emerge sa kaning nga building. And then, same gihapon, like 2-story, and then akong escalator kay katong walkalator, katong murag ramp nga escalator para accessible siya sa PWD. And sir, ako ang driveway to the kaning site kay giangle nako siya kay katong before kay straight to siya diri then realize ko if magbutang ko og entrance arch diri ang makita straight to the site kay murag kanila nga space. And then mo to ko siyang gi-move to the side nya kani kay maybe butangan ako sa logo sa supermarket para isud nila kita sila sa logo and then drop off na po ni diri. So like nanay like good kanang size para drop off and then to the left of the site kay ang parking spaces na. Pero I still have to reconfigure this one kay ako pa kanang compute balik if sakto ra baghapon siya sa katong building footprint ang number sa parking spaces.
Sige. Okay, that's good. So now you have big open space na sa left side. Okay.
Then ang kani po diri sir kay na bigger na po ang space sa front. Then okay ra ba to sir? Ay, delete na nako. Ang drop off sir kay mo ana ra siya dili siya katong like mo go inside jud.
For me kay since na kaning road ri kanina lang yung drop off points kung asa kanya ang galiko ng road nimo.
Diri kani sir?
Diyan lang yung drop off point and then they go out. Mag-U-turn sila.
Okay. Pero how about sir kanang gining like mga taxi lang or mga jeep para dili nila ma-stop ang traffic sa road. Like,
okay, if you really want it there, what do you call this? You add an island before you drop off. So wait, mo share ko sa screen na. Ayaw sa i-stop ako sa screenshot imong drawing. So na screenshot. Okay.
Kaya nakuha na ko ang idea sir like sa kanang sa SM Consultation. Nalapit na supermarket na mo drop off sa side sa road.
Sige, wait, asa to kong screenshot na rin. So, if you really want it there, you try to have like an island here, and then you go drop off, or like, let me erase it. If you really want to drop, might as well like drop off all the way to the front of the building.
Okay.
Something like that, and you can have a bigger island here maybe.
Okay.
Idea ng island because you get to put more cars here, so they're not waiting here sa road, so they go inside a bit. Okay. Sige, good.
Thank you.
All right. Next. Nagkan pa. Taguma Cruise. So this was one of the bigger na file size. I think na nag-resubmit na siya. Taguma Cruise. A, B, C, D. Element ST. Okay, separated it into different files. This is also a good way to submit para dili siya mag-lag. Okay, separating it into smaller files. Tagima Cruise over here. URST.
Good morning, sir. Pwede sa katong Gmail lang, sir, kay murag dako kayo ang file. Mana nilag, sir.
Dako gyapon diri.
Oo.
Okay. So far, ni-open na siya. I'm trying to find where is this? Lead to the big Tagima Cruise. Dan, Cometa, Cortez, Shulim, Montemayor, Ortega, Sonido, Sanchez. Here. So I'm trying to look at your one. Okay, you're the Le Corbusier's unit de habitat. Let's see. So floor plan, solar panels. Let's look at the ground floor plan. Okay, let's go to Gmail. Here. Okay. So kani, so I think you can separate the column spacing per building, so it's not just one column spacing for the whole site.
Excuse me, sir. Wala ni mo na share screen.
Ako na share screen, sorry. So I think this is more of a Revit thing. Na you can separate them, the columnation, or you can also turn off the columnation for the site dev if you want. That's easier for you. Okay, Kanisha, this is not the usual way we do columns. So for a site with multiple buildings, okay, what happens is gubot na kay siya tanawon, and it's hard to read. So either we have the previous example here. You can have your site dev just showing the building without the columnation, and then when you do the columnation, you blow it up to like a drawing like this. Let me open up another like something. Let me go through the other year submissions. Desktop. Senior high school is one building. Let's see. Itong mga previous work, ha? Let's see. Sanchez, ba to, or 10? I think it was Sanchez. Sorry, do. Senior arithmetic 2. Sanchez. Like if you, oh my God. You can display the site like this without the columnation. Okay, we're looking at how all the different spaces are related to each other. So the columnation is not so important. And then when you get to your snagging, when you get to your building, you can do something like this where you can show the columnation. So don't, as much as possible, if you have the same layout like this, avoid this. Okay, it becomes very hard to read. These are the spaces. Anyway, so you have your parking spaces here, entrance, exit. Where is the drop off? I'll just download this. So I think any space here. Oh my gosh, it can't even show the whole thing. Loading every time. So this is why I really ask everyone to please reduce your file size. Cancel? Okay. Nah. Sige. Oh, finally. Okay, and this will probably help you with your working pods in your drawings. Okay, you reduce your file size. So maybe the drop-off area, definitely somewhere here. You can like remove a few parking spaces there. Maybe add a few parking spaces. Okay, this parking space is already pretty kind of solid na. Let's see. That's the edge of the lot over there. That's roadway. Okay. For the sake of kanang not asking you to recalculate your parking space, so maybe your drop-off area will be here. And if you miss 1 or 2 parking spaces, okay. Let me see. So this is good. This is good over here. Supermarket looks good. These are concession spaces, I think. Let me check
Yes, sir.
the drawing. Yep, they are concession spaces. Manager's office, marketing area, green open space, employee canteen. Where is the? Kani siya? Unsa ni siya?
For kuan, sir, kanang bus bitaw na, truck bitaw na parking.
Okay, truck parking, delivery, waiting dock. Okay, so you'll have them deliver out here, outdoors.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then where is the storage area?
Kuan, sir. Katong cold storage, sir.
Dili,
Na,
kay,
oh,
kuan ba? Let me just show you. So they need spaces to put the stock like this. And ani na space na mga dry goods, mga chippy, mga delata, all
sir, I
the
thought katong marking area, sir. Kanang marking
ini.
area bitaw. Oo.
Okay, okay. Just put their storage and marking area and repacking
Okay,
area.
sir.
And I think your, what do you call this? Edge na ba ni sa property? I can't tell kaya natabunan sa trees.
Oh, edge na, sir.
Much better for me, I think, if mo park sila here because it's where they deliver. So weird na mo park sila dito far away bitaw. So
Sir.
maybe move that over here, and then we can have some of the spaces here, like the mechanical room can be moved here. Purchaser's office needs to be near that area. Maybe accounting would be moved, put somewhere there. I'm not sure. The employee lounge and canteen is very big, so we might need to readjust that.
Okay, sir.
So kana lang. Pwede pod. Let's see. Now ang truck magud layo kay layo kay ba? How will they deliver over there? So maybe the truck parking can be here instead, something like that. And then they can go there when you turn out something. I can't think of one how to better solve this aside from moving the trucks here. So that will be an issue sa final. So try to kanang solve that. Gutom man eh. Na blank na akong brain. Let's see. That's pretty much it. So aside from this space here, oh, sorry. Aside from the kaning parking area here, everything else looks good. So you need to redesign that. Next is open space marking area. Okay, I think I need to see a 3D set. It's good that you have your long cross section over there. Okay. Okay. This is the supermarket area that goes all the way over there. I think ang trees don't ipagamay lang ang trees para di ka siya murag forest na. Okay. Maybe half lang those trees imaybutang. Okay, makasabot na ko, there's supposed to be trees there. Okay. This is a better look at the building. Okay, okay. Sige, so this looks good. Uniform design. You have your open space over there. You have windows, solar panels. And then, okay. So this part here in yellow and this open space, they're all good. Okay na. You can keep it as is. So kanilang gamay lang changes to the warehouse area. So that's easier for the trucks to deliver. Okay. And yeah. So let's see. After that, I guess we'll need to figure out the openings here. So let's see. I have a question. So you have your columns like this, and then over here it's like that. Or why is this kanang bigger here?
Nasayop ko, sir, kanang murag na-delete na ko ang column bitaw, but
Okay.
kuan,
Sige.
sir.
So it would look better if like kanang uniforms na bitaw. So ana,
Sir.
something like that. And then maybe over here, okay, kanisha, plain naman siya na paint or kanang unpainted siguro. Maybe we can add some patterns pro una sa atong warehouse.
Okay, sir.
We'll solve the warehouse and then we'll go back here as exterior. Okay, no. Crap, how many students did we do? So up until Tagima Cruza, that's half lang the class. Let's go to Seno. I'm gonna get like a Skyflakes. Okay, gutom na jud. Let's see. Just load up the screen here, Seno. And then I'll stop recording lang sa and I'll make it a separate video.